It feels strange to say this, but I've been in Germany for an entire month now. In the moment, time feels like it's going by more slowly than normal because every day seems to be jam packed with working hard at my job, meeting new people, having awkward half German, half English conversations, getting used to totally different culture, and more. Instead of going on and catching you up on every little interesting experience I've had, I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. Here's my perspective of what it's like to move to Germany. I'll go ahead and show some of the footage and pictures I've gotten from walking around the city during the weekends, and I've made some friends here from the local church and from the university that I'm kind of working for right now, and they've kind of shared with me a lot of the things that they know about the city's history, and it's been really fun and interesting. For example, one time I went down to the river. I was taking videos with my camera and with one of my friends from the university here. And this guy named Axel came up to us and asked us what we were making a video about. And so after talking back and forth with him a little bit, he offered to tell us more about Bremen's history. So I'll show you a clip or two about that.
This is called the turned night table because this watchtower looks like a night table that is turned on top. You can see the three legs. The fourth is behind the roof.
Also, something kind of funny is something I did not anticipate was how difficult it is to go do something as simple as go to the store, like to go get groceries. I took like some beginner German classes before I came here, but I'm not very good at German at all. But I knew basic things, like wie heißen Sie, ich heiße Reader Ward or whatever. But it doesn't come in handy when you're going to the grocery store. And maybe beforehand I would like look up the Google Translate for how do you say credit or debit or other random things that a cashier might say to you in German. But then I would get my groceries and I'd get in line, and it seems like they're shooting a speech at you, and and then it might turn out to be something really, really simple. But I've had many confusing experiences at the local grocery store, for example. One of the funniest ones was just 2 weeks ago. I was getting groceries, and all I got was a dozen eggs. I'm sorry, not a dozen, because in Germany they don't sell them in sets of 12. They sell them in sets of 10. So that's random fun fact of the day. But so I was getting 10 eggs, and it was just the only thing I'd run out of. But I just wanted to have eggs for breakfast the next morning for work or something like that. So anyways, long story short, I walk into the grocery store down the street and I grab some eggs, and I don't bother to get a cart because all I'm grabbing is a carton of eggs. So I get in line and I go to pay, and I've already practiced so much, like, okay, all the different bad experiences I've had at the store. I've like memorized all the things that the cashiers ask you, so I don't ever get like tripped up or in an awkward situation where I'm just having to say something like "Sprechen Sie Englisch, bitte?" or something. So what happened was I go to pay, and the lady kind of like in a stern tone just looks at me and says something in German, and I can't remember what it was, but just like I have no idea what she's saying, right? But I had already paid, so I just like held up my card again, and I thought maybe my card was declined, so I was like, mit Karte, like pay with card or something. And she got more and more frustrated, and like pretty quickly I was like, okay, sprechen Sie English, and she was just like, "Nein, I don't speak English." And so then it was just a struggle of like basically playing charades with doing all these hand gestures back and forth, trying to figure out what does she say And after like 5 straight awkward minutes, and even like some people that were in line behind me started to like make hand gestures to try to explain what she was saying to me. And by this point, my face is probably red. I'm so embarrassed. And and it turned out all she was yelling at me about was to get a shopping cart, because currently with the new Corona rules here, you're required to have a shopping cart when you walk in the store so they can manage how many people are in the store at any given time. And that's all that it was. So it's not like it was that difficult of a situation or anything, but I always wondered before I came here, like, what are the things I'm not prepared for? And I think I over prepared for the harder, complicated things, like becoming like a registered, temporary citizen or whatever it's called, like all the paperwork I had to do there and get that all figured out. But I didn't think about the little things, like going to how easy it is when you're in your hometown and your home country, how easy it is to go to the store and you don't really think about it. But then when you're in another country, it's like everything becomes a little bit complicated with the language barrier. So so that was one funny little thing. Okay, so a little bit about my work is that I work in this big research building that's like owned by the university here. And it's a really cool place. They have several different laboratories. And so I work in the one, I just work in an electronics laboratory at the moment because I'm working on software for their wind tunnel experiments. But next door to me, there's like a rocket laboratory where there's a bunch of students and professors working on a rocket. And I get to see them like with the rocket half assembled and see how it works and everything when I walk by and see how they're doing each morning and stuff. So it's a pretty cool place. And the building itself is right next to the airport. And it's a huge curved building. And another little fun fact about Germany is when you say, okay, I'm going to like the 4th floor. Well, in America, that would be like the 4th floor, right? But here, they start counting floors once you get to the 2nd floor. So I work on the 5th floor, which is top floor. But according to the Germans, I work on the 4th floor because 2nd floor is the first, and it has like a big 1, like painted on the wall. So like when I was going up the stairs the first day, I was really confused what was up with that. It's like the 1st floor doesn't count or something. So that was interesting. And also I've had fun walking around the city and taking pictures with friends and taking short little videos and stuff. So I even went up to some strangers at one point that were trying to get pictures with their phone in front of this like cathedral glass and stuff. And so I was like, hey, can I take your portrait for you? So that was a fun experience. And I'll show those here. Yeah, so I've had a really fun time. There's been plenty of like little things like going to the store and getting my residence permit figured out. And those things have been difficult, but overall, it's been just a really fun experience. And so if you're someone that's watching and you're maybe like considering studying abroad or doing an internship abroad in another country, I'd say totally go for it. Of course, there'll be people that will warn you and say, like you're getting in over your head or there's a lot of responsibility that goes into it. And they're absolutely right. But if you put in the work and, are diligent about preparing yourself, it can be a really fun experience and you can learn a lot. And I think that's been one of my favorite things about living in another country is how much I learned about different cultures. Something about living in Germany is that culturally they're way more direct when they talk to you. I think more than anything, it was kind of a breath of fresh air because it's so common in America to have like this facade up and feel like you have to look good on the outside, but maybe you're not completely real to the people you're around, and maybe your friends are more like acquaintances. And so that's been something that's been really neat here, is that a lot of the friends that I make, I've been able to connect with them, on a personal level quite quickly because they're very open people. And so I've enjoyed that. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time. And sorry it took me so long to make another video. I just got home from work late tonight and I was just like, it's been over a month since I made a video. I should just sit down and start talking. And that's what I did. That's why this video is kind of sporadic in nature of the topics I talked about. So anyways, have a good night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.